Hello, everybody.
Hello! How you doing, Taryn?
I'm good. How are you? It's rather chilly here in South Africa at the moment. It's snowing all over the place, and I was actually doing some fire gazing before I came on, and I always get into a bit of a trance. I had to have a bit of a wake up and put some cool water on my face to get all back into the
Yeah,
space to share. But it was awesome. It's so nice. Like the fire is my best. So
nice.
all good. It's been a crazy week, but really in a good space. How are you feeling? I know you've been through quite a lot the last few moments.
Oh God. When people ask me how I'm feeling now, as like the last few days, I've just been like, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling grand, I'm feeling strong. Like to be honest, it's a roller coaster. The last 2 weeks has been the most deep transformation I've ever been through in my life. It's like pretty much taking a super vacuum cleaner into all the different pockets of my body where I was still carrying density, and I'm still going through it. I'm still purging it, and it's makes
Wow.
me appreciate mom so much. Like the gratitude and the humbleness for mom's experience is just, it's beyond my comprehension. From what I've experienced. And it's like just giving me a whole new level of compassion for myself. Gentleness and grace with myself, and just a lot of patience too, because I'd make like little breakthroughs with it, and then the energies would build up, and it would get like super super intense again. And
Mm.
it's just interesting to like see the like how powerful pain is as a teacher. And
Well,
it's always been
takes you
my,
within.
it does take you within, and it's like there's been nowhere for me to hide. And it just gives so much clarity to, everything's about being in the present moment. But when you're truly going through a difficult time, it's that those are the moments where you have no other choice. Spirit's giving you no other choice other than to fully stay present and apply every single one of mom's techniques. And
Yep.
it's humbling. I mean, for sure, it's like I get to see how also through mom's nervous system, and I feel a lot of the pain, and a lot of what was happening to mom was, the cabal were trying to fry out her nervous system with lower frequencies. And I'm starting to see that it's actually a weapon of choice for for our lower consciousness, for the ego to try and attack the nervous system, the processing, the part of you that does all the processing and sends all the information to every part of your body. And I mean, in moments this last 2 weeks, I've actually like tapped into like mom's experience, and like how intense it was for her versus us just having a little taste of what she went through. And just how much she's actually done for us. I don't feel we actually truly comprehend yet. Like we can't fathom it. And that's making my connection to mom like even closer. And yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
grateful to have my energy back. And the weakness and all that sort of stuff has been a big lesson for me, because I like to move a lot and I like to do things, and it's just my body has physically not been able to do anything. So I'm grateful for today. I had a big turnaround last night, and yeah, just so grateful to mom for fucking being such a badass.
Yeah. No, she's amazing, and it's amazing when you're in pain how nothing else matters. Like it takes you so internally, like you just don't care. I mean, for me, I get really bad migraines
Yeah.
when I'm processing. And I know it's control because it's the neck, it's my shoulders, my traps, it's obviously the bridge between the masculine and the feminine. And when I'm in that space, and I just want to vomit because the pain is so huge. But I don't care about anything. The house can be burning down, and I'm just like put my head under the blanket and kind of go, cool. Like it doesn't matter. Even with Gregory with his toothache, it's just
Yeah.
he's quiet, which is a rare thing.
That's a
And and he's going within, and he just doesn't really care too much about anything else because he's got to just breathe into that space, really process, look at what's coming up. And you're right, like pain is a teacher. And for me, Taylor's been with her dad for a moment in this lockdown, and she's been kind of at school and homeschooling, and there's been very little dysfunction in our space when it comes to the 3D world. Like there's no TV, there's no news, there's mom's radio. And when she came back to me, she's been doing homeschooling at home. And it's really disrupted the energy and like, caused a lot of disturbance because
Yeah.
of that 3D vibration that's in here.
Yeah.
And, I was out of integrity because I was so pro crystal schools and family dynamics with her dad and all that kind of stuff, with the 3D school. And I really had to make a decision. But it was the lack of integrity within me was creating a disconnect. I wasn't feeling mom as strongly. I wasn't being able to communicate with the angels like I wanted to. I was feeling irritable all the time, and my physical vessel was taking massive strain, like my lower back, kind of headaches all the time. And the minute I'd made that decision to take her, like, without any notice, out of 3D school and do the crystal school effort, my energy levels were insane. They
Wow.
came back. Like the peace in the home was incredible. The energy between all of us has just shifted so much.
Wow.
So it's just, these moments are for us to be in the utmost integral alignment. And things have shifted in so many ways. And that's just where we need to recognize that we cannot afford to be out of integrity.
My body was lighting up when you were sharing that, and it's like it's that simple little choice, It's just making that action and that choice to move with love, and things change really quickly. And
Yep.
I feel that I'm so excited about what's happening with you guys because I read your little memes that you did on the crystal schools, and it's like especially the last week, I haven't really been able to sleep at night at all. Like everyone else goes down, and it's like that the energy is just too much for me. So I pretty much stay up the whole night, and
Okay.
the last 3 nights I was like getting so much like information because I've been like kind of at like a choice point again, like where to go and where to put my energy and where to put my passions in again. And I feel that's my final confirm what you just gave me on like really, really focusing on educating children, and it's something that, I was always passionate about, but I've never really put my focus behind it. And I feel that's such a huge part that you're going through right now, because you're actually physically going through the experience in your own life. That's how curriculums are born. That's how great things are birthed. And it's going to be interesting, to check up on you on how that process is going, because I mean, there's no better way to learn than to actually go through it with your own child. That's fucking beautiful. That's like,
Well, if I can share a few things that have come up already,
yeah,
just like this week, because we started on Monday, and with the work that's in the crystal schools, it's very much connecting with themselves, how they view the thing, how
yeah,
they view things, how they feel about things. Where the 3D school is very much based on competition.
Got you.
It's fitting into a box. It's getting good marks and being perfect. They're taught how to think. I mean, they're taught what to think, not how to think. Never mind how to feel.
Yeah.
So the questions in the crystal school, where it's like, how does this make you feel? Or what is your perspective? Or what are your ideas? It's very difficult for them to even start processing that because it's just fed. It's like, I must just be a parrot and I must just copy and paste and I must just do it as perfect as this and regurgitate. So when they need to kind of go into their feelings and go, how am I supposed to connect with this?
Wow.
It's been quite a massive shift in compared to what I kind of perceived it would be.
Wow. My body's lighting up. That's crazy. So just from the, how old's your daughter?
10.
10. Okay, so like so it's pretty much ingrained already, the system by that
Mm,
age. Wow.
mm.
But I mean still because but I feel it would be a a really um smooth transition because there's still so much passion there, and what you said earlier was getting the children already kind of know what they want to do at a young age. It's like
Yeah.
they already know what they're interested in. And I mean that was always my issue at school was the that whole, I think there's a meme about it where you have a monkey, an elephant, and let's call it a squirrel, and you're teaching them all how to climb a tree, you know, or
Yeah, I think it's if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will
that's
spend
it.
its whole
That's the
entire
one.
life believing it's useless. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And it's like
So
getting,
Taylor's animal crazy,
yeah,
and she's always wanted to kind of be a vet. Um, but the same with humans, with the injections and all that kind of stuff. It's also set up to be a money making thing. I think
yeah,
a lot of unnecessary procedures are recommended because of the money that can possibly be made through these things.
yeah. I
And
feel,
we've had conversations about this, and she's got such a natural way with animals, more of like an animal whisperer kind of thing than the vet type story. And also her love of numbers and maths, which is awesome with the connection to Gregory.
hmm
So I've been getting her to all the animals that she loves, the things that are close to her, doing the numbers with a Pythagorean or theorem,
yeah,
and whatever the number total is, seeing how it links to her, because everything's energetically aligned.
hmm
So, like for example, the pony she rides, its name equals the number 10, and she's born on the 10th of January.
interesting.
So that's why they get on so well, because they've got that same vibrational alignment. And she's
Okay.
been having quite a lot of fun with that. And it's just changing things up a little bit. And now she's getting it. Like we do the activities, and she runs and she gets a crystal, and then there was some burning ceremony she did today, and she wrote a thing, and then she burnt it in the fire. So it's the activity, it's the energy, it's the creativity that she really likes.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. Within a week, there's been a huge shift. But it's been really, really cool.
I mean, it's such a it's such a vast area, and it's like a lot of mom's teachings and how she wanted to flip the energy on this planet and how she is going to flip the energy on this planet is by not letting the children get programmed from a young age, and it's like
Mm.
it's so vital, and it's such a vast area of growth, and it's endless the amount that can be achieved through getting a child to unlock their own divine gifts. I mean, I'm just so excited about the days where the children have that pure connection to their angels. I mean, they'll probably be creating their own curriculum, in a lot of ways through the experience, and it'll be continuously evolving because, there's always, everything's always changing, and this path and this evolution and this planetary ascension is always evolving. So it means a lot of these young beings, and I feel a lot of these children that are being born now don't really have a lot of like soul history. You know what I mean? A lot of trauma on this planet, like past lives, timelines, and that sort of stuff. I really feel that a lot of these beings are like have only really experienced the light, and the higher consciousness. So they're bringing a lot of that energy into the planet, and I'm like, I'm blown away right now because my passion, as you know, has always been plasma, and it's like, what is the evolution with that with me, and where do I go? And I feel there's a lot to unlock with children, with understanding energy and feeling things, and getting that heart telepathy going, and you know like
Mm.
like your child with the animals, getting her to practice that heart telepathy, and practice listening to the horse itself, because the horse is going to tell you, or the animal, the dog, whatever animal you're dealing with, is going to share with you from their heart, like what they actually need, or what's going on with them, or what they're not happy about, and
Yeah,
it's like this self-healing approach where you just become a conduit, and I feel a lot of things will change in veterinary, in the medical industry, because that's all external based analyzation, and like basically covering up problems and not going to the roots of things. I mean,
for sure.
it's like I can relate it back to to my experience now, is like with the spider bite. Like it's it's something that almost like the venom is actually working in my favor. You know what I mean? Because it's like dragging all the density in my body out, basically flipping that lower energy of it into the core of my being, into the core of my cellular structure. And I feel that that's what's happening with all of us. That's, mom was always had her DNA, and most of the time on this mission, she's had it fully activated. I mean, she didn't have her gifts and all of her gifts online because that wasn't part of the contract. She had to go through the physical experience. But it's like what's happening to us now, the ones that are actually at the forefront of what's happening, is that we are being changed on a cellular level. So it's like we are dying and being reborn as we stand. And it can be an intense process, and it's like I don't feel even we've even come close to understanding the human vessel, especially in medical terms, because they're looking at it as physicality versus as energy and frequency. And for us, and I've been saying it for ages, even since when mom was doing the surgeries. I mean, we're still doing surgeries. Mom's still doing surgeries. But when she first started with the surgeries, it actually showed me then what was happening with me now. This like neural network of like electricity and energy, and how much that had been damaged in the human collective DNA. Like how much attacks and how much savagery had taken place to our true nature, to our true makeup of our physical bodies, and the cells down to a cellular level, to the atomic level. Like that's been bombarded with absolutely fucking everything that we expose ourselves to in this
Hmm.
in this illusion. And in order for this transition to take place, a lot of beings are going to have to go through this physical transformation in order to upgrade all of our cells. And it's exciting because we've seen all the chaos and the shit that's been going on, especially over there in South Africa and Cuba and all over the world. And it's like it's just fascinating to see like how that collective DNA has such an influence on everything we do. And it's like
Hmm.
people want to reach this state of enlightenment, but it's like even if one person is slipping back down all the time, we're gonna have to battle through it, and it's like there's some drastic cleansing about to take place, I feel. And especially those that haven't chosen to ascend with the planet and to physically ascend with the earth are are not going to make it much longer. I can feel it. They're like, it's the physical vessels are not going to be able to make it. And I mean, those soul choices have already been made, you know, and it's like, it's crazy to think about it, but it's like those that are real and those that want to evolve with the earth are pretty much going to be the only ones that are left standing, you know, and that's gonna create a big shift, you know, in the collective unity, you know. I mean, we see it here in the field all the time. It's like, you know, we have to all be in the moment. If one person in the field is not there, we don't, you know, it's not gonna, the frequency is not gonna stay high. It's not gonna stay
Yeah.
elevated. Yeah. I still have this like,
You,
I'm feeling it now. I just wanted to share quick. It's like it feels like my body's been fried almost, like the energy circuits, and it's like there's this like almost lag between the energy coming up from my heart and the back of my brain. But it's way better than it has been. It was like the other day I was being asked a whole bunch of questions and I couldn't even cognitize it, what she was saying to me. It was the weirdest fucking experience. I've never felt so like out of it, you know?
yeah, yeah. It's like a whole rebalancing that's happening.
Yeah,
Um, it's almost like when you take a bottle and it's oil and water and you shake it,
that's it.
and the whole thing is kind of rebalancing, and the oil's getting together and the water's getting together, and it's there's no words to really describe it, but I think it's
Oh,
just kind of a rebalancing, an upgrade, all that kind of stuff's going on.
yeah. And
And we're getting forced to do the work we've been neglecting to look at.
yeah,
You know, it's now whatever is necessary for us to slow down, like perhaps what you've had to do with the spider bites,
yeah,
to really go within and get rid of that, because I do feel a massive shift coming.
for sure.
Um, you know, we can all feel it. Who knows what it's going to look like, but we
Yeah.
can all feel it, and it really should be everyone's priority to really go within, slow down, do the self-love disciplines,
Yeah, something
look at where
something
you're
has,
out of integrity. Sorry.
no, that's it. Yeah, integrity is the big one at the moment. You know, integrity with yourself, you know. It's such
Mm,
a vital one.
mm,
Um, but it's, you know, at the same time, it's like there's so much chaos. You know, there's been so many moments where I've felt the chaos, but through mom's teachings and through their disciplines to like just stay calm. Like
mm,
that's
mm.
everything. You know, mom's been teaching me, and she kept saying it to me before she went. She kept saying, "Stay calm, stay at peace." You know, and I didn't really truly understand what that meant, like on an atomic level, where it's like fight or flight. You know what I mean? The program wants to keep all of humanity in fight or flight, and that fight or flight is a chemical reaction in the body where the body's not operating in harmony. And you know, it's fascinating because you know, I was laying down last night and I was like, I really just prayed, like I just want the family, you know, this family that's connected all over the world, you know, everyone that stood up and supported mom, you know, those that have supported mom without even knowing that she was here even, you know, I just pray with every part of me that the good in those people is rewarded, you know, because that's a big thing throughout my entire life. I always used to look around, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because all these people that are absolute fucking dickheads have everything, but the ones that are actually good, you know, don't have shit, you know. And it's like it's I know I'll never give up, you know, and I know this intensity of this process has only made me stronger. You know, it's only made me more humble. It's only made me kinder, more compassionate. Like all of these challenges and all this pain that we go through, is our greatest gift. It always is, because even when we're in the thick of it and it's fucking too much, and we're struggling with it, that true part of us still knows that it's for our highest and it's for our good. And I know that day is around the corner where the good in this world and the meek and mild will inherit this earth. Because this fuckery that's going on right now, it can no longer be hidden, can no longer hide. It has to come out, and I feel it's only going to get worse in a lot of ways. And I mean, you look at South Africa, for example. I mean, it's crazy. It's like a microcosm of what's happened in the world, because America has so much influence all over the world. It's not really the same situation, because South Africa has been so, like, isolated in the past. And but exactly what's happening on a world stage with the elite families and the bribery and the corruption and the bullshit in the media and the separation by race and spitting all this hatred, it's so interesting to see how the people are actually starting to see through it, where they're like, hang on a minute, this is actually fucking bullshit. And we've seen this pattern reoccur. People are not taking it anymore. They're not it's not having the same effect that it used to. People are seeing through it. And
Well, it was so beautiful what happened. I mean, it was a bit crazy with the looting and, all of that stuff that was going on. And it was pretty hectic, especially in Durban
yeah,
for a few moments.
yeah,
Um, but everybody came together of all races, supported each other, helped each other out, and that's what's needed to happen. It needs to be a leveling field. That money can't buy you out of this stuff.
yeah.
you know, if your time's up, you can't buy a ticket to extend your time here. If Woolworths is closed and you can't do your big trolley full of shopping, you might have to get it from someone down the road who grows their own veggies. It's going to be a very much of a leveling field. And I mean, there were some amazing stories that came out of it, but of course the news won't show you that.
Oh no, the news shows.
I mean, I saw there was a post I got where Pick and Pay sent 187 trucks. They drove through the night in convoy all the way down to Durban to make sure that all those people had food.
Wow.
So it was scary for 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, but that's what happened. And everyone was looked after. People came together. The neighbors helped each other, and it was beautiful. It was actually quite an emotional time seeing all these posts that were happening, that people were sharing of the unity that was happening.
Wow.
So things are changing,
Yeah.
and love has won and light has won, and it is the grandest time in all of creation. And every time I kind of get into a bit of a spin and I start going into my head, I kind of go, but wow, what an honor to be here in these moments, to be aware of what's going on, and to have connected to mom.
Yeah.
Her teachings and everything that she shared is what dissolves fear. For me. And I'm just like, there is nothing to worry about. She's got this. She's the divine director. And being present, because anything can flip in the next moment. And when you're present, you'll be guided.
And that's it. I mean, and it's such a thing, and especially where we come from, and all these crazy experiences that country's been through, and ourselves, and how much pain there is. It's like, it's always been that way. It's always been that way. Like, as long as I can remember, whenever there's something like that's targeted, or there's separation created, or fear, it's like, I remember, that experience of being there, where you would see a whole bunch of shit in the media and this and that, and it's like, when you're actually having that experience, as someone living in a place like South Africa, it's never like they say it is. And it's like, it's almost like the when you've been through so much shit and so much pain and whatever fear, and it's like, what else have you got? that's where you get to that point where you're like, you know what, it's okay, I can handle whatever's thrown at me, because
Mm.
been through so many fucking layers of it already. And it's like, that's what I keep telling myself, through this intense experience now, has been like, you know what, okay, cool, this is fucking intense right now. It's probably the worst pain or the most uncomfortable I've ever felt in my life. But it's like, okay, let me breathe, let me breathe, and this too shall pass. And a lot of what I've seen under that pressure cooker is, what is happening is like, love basically creates pressure. It's like, creates pressure within the vessel, where there's no more space for that density to exist. And I feel that's where a lot of the way mom explained the pop, how things pop, is because the love just keeps pushing, keeps pushing, keeps pushing, keeps pushing, keeps pushing, until that energy has nothing left, nowhere to go, and it will pop. It will eventually pop. And I'm excited because I feel there are enough light beings on this planet right now that have cleared enough and are able to hold and anchor that consistency with the light. And I mean, it's taken a lot, especially for mom, and for all those involved and all those connected to this ascension and awareness of it. It's taken a fucking gargantuan battle, to get to this point. But another thing is, I always feel into is like, I'm still breathing. I'm still here. The birds are still chirping outside. The trees are still here. Life is still abundant everywhere. And it's like, the illusion constantly wants to create this confusion of that it's not going to happen, when it's already done. It's already inevitable. And the important part is, when you are faced with the challenge and those challenging pressurized experiences, is to be grateful, and to truly be grateful, not just say that you're grateful. Like, even if you are uncomfortable, this has been one of my biggest lessons the last few weeks, is to really feel that gratitude and really feel into the lesson of that uncomfortability and what it is showing you, and not and not get caught up in the story. A lot of things have been coming up. With, it's almost like, I think the girls were talking about it yesterday, about 4D, and like how 4D represents time. And it's just been interesting through this process, like how all these different timelines have been coming back, and it's like stuff that I hadn't even ever recalled, where it was still stuck in my cellular memory, and it was coming up, and I was like, whoa, holy shit. And then the next one was coming, the next one was coming, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this, my cells literally carried memories from every single experience that I've had. And that's pretty insane, because then you actually start looking at all your atoms and every part of of yourself and your different bodies, as different parts of consciousness. You can tap into one tiny little atom in your body, and it has its own consciousness. It has its own story. It has its own her story, or whatever you want to call it. And it's like, it's fascinating, because then when they start creating harmony and working together, that's the true oneness, because they actually start joining together, and those neurons actually start firing back, and it's like this whole network of information and love and light. And it's like, it's it's fascinating to me, like, what this vessel is actually capable of, and
Yeah.
it's you know we would not fucking have had one iota of a chance without mom going through what she went through. Like, that has come up so many times. Like, we would never have been able to go through these energies now without what mom did in the physical vessel, and how far she took it, and she took it to the absolute limit with what her physical vessel could handle, with all of the unconsciousness on this planet. And she did that so that we wouldn't have to go through that intensity. We would just have to let it go, and keep surrendering, because she's already changed that part of the collective DNA, and we just have to allow the process to happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, kudos
Well,
to
I was
you, mom.
feeling into it the other day. Like, if I hadn't met mom the last 3 years, I don't even know where I would be.
Oh, I know I'd be in a coffin, straight up. I would be 6 feet under the ground in the etheric.
Yeah, yeah. I would be spinning like crazy. So I'm super grateful. I was also, I mean, that I've been doing the podcast of Michael Singer,
Yeah.
and I was listening to an interview on him the other day, and I actually shared it on Facebook. But it was so simple the way he put it. If you ask somebody, "What do you really want?" The normal answer is, a happy relationship, or a fancy house, or a fancy car, or lots of abundance, or traveling, or any of the stuff. That's what they want. But often, those of us that have achieved those things, when you arrive there, it still doesn't give you the perceived satisfaction that you want it to give you. It might do it for 5 minutes or 2 weeks or something like that, but it's all internal. And what we're actually looking for, what we really want, is joy. But we think that those external things are going to bring us joy,
Yeah.
which isn't real. So all we got to do is choose to be in joy and gratitude in every moment. Because when we realize that what we actually only want is happiness, peace, and joy, just choose it.
I've been
You don't
praying.
have to strive and work your ass off and kill yourself to buy the fancy house. It's not going to give you that.
Yeah, exactly.
To impress people that you don't really like with money you don't really have. It's like, what's the point? It's crazy. The less you own, the less owns you. Just choose
Yeah.
joy now. And I was like, it's so simple, because people have these big dream lists and these big vision boards.
Mm-hmm.
But all you got to do is put a big smiley face there, man, and then you can have it right now.
Yeah, that's yeah, I mean that's the addiction to external validation, and I mean everything's been designed on that, like absolutely everything. Everything in the 3D realm is designed around external joy, fake joy. Mom used to talk about the fake joy all the time, and I feel a lot of that's happening right now, with all of us, and especially the collective, because it's like, okay, cool, nothing's really fulfilling me anymore. Like what am I going to do? What am I going to achieve? What It's like it's all empty because it's not real,
Mm-hmm.
and it's dissolving, as we're moving through this 4D. It's like it's dissolving, it's falling away, it's crumbling down. So it's like we have to be able to cultivate that joy inside. And I mean, this has been moments in my process, for months now. Angel's been telling me the same thing. You got to cultivate that own joy, and you got to bring that joy to the experience. A lot of a lot of times, it's like, do what brings you joy, do what brings you joy. But it's like, okay, yeah, do what brings you joy, but like, don't do that because you need to feel joy, if you know what I mean. Bring your joy
Mm.
to what excites you. Bring your joy to that experience of co-creation with mom. Bring your joy to, I don't know, sitting down and having a moment and breathing. And it's like, it's so foreign. I mean, especially to me, this has been one of my biggest challenges, is to be able to go, okay, cool, just me breathing and just me being, I can be at peace and enjoy. And that joy may not look like it needs to look like to external people. I mean, I know of a lot of people that may be perceived as happy and look like they're happy, but inside they're not really happy. They've just really learned how to make it look like they're happy. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's such a simple thing, really, but it's so fucking hard. You know, it's so tough. You know, because the true joy comes with the consistency of staying in the present moment. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're faced with a challenge, like especially a lot of pain or going through a difficult thing, from my experience, is I've realized how many times I slip out of the moment in a day, and it's a fucking lot. Like I was pretty sure that I was staying present most of the time, but there's so many layers of unconsciousness within the collective and within our own programming that we chose to take on, that moments you'll feel that you're in the present moment, but there's still something going on. There's still something going on, like a dream within another dream within another dream. That movie, I forget what it's called, but it's like it's there's so many layers to this thing, and it's like finding that stillness and that emptiness. And a lot of times, that is where the fear lies. A lot of people don't really fear what's gonna hurt them, or what's gonna happen, but they fear their own stillness and their own beingness. I know I do. I sometimes will get so still where I actually start freaking out a little bit. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's like, I don't know where that's going to take me, and that's the fear of the unknown. And it's becoming so prevalent every single day, where it's like, okay, squeeze, 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 until the damn wall breaks.
Yep, which is happening.
Oh, for sure. For sure it's
All the
happening.
floods in China and all that kind of stuff. That Three Gorges Dam is going to pop soon.
Yeah, maybe that's the physical representation of it all happening. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Greg was saying that last night he took quite a bit of oil to try and get the pain under wraps. And he just said he had like the most vivid dream where it was literally the show in the sky of all these planets we could see and the galactics. And the whole day he was kind of in that experience. He spoke
Wow.
about it a few times, like he just couldn't. So with the numbers, they're giving him quite a lot of confirmation on all this. I mean, the numbers are simple, but they're super accurate. I mean, that's what gives us so much um, confidence in what's happening, and confirmation to how we're feeling. You'll just ask a question, and they'll just something will happen, and the craziest synchros will happen.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that he had that dream last night. And I think I listened to it was this morning, Aurora and Hope's chat that they recorded yesterday. I mean, the timeline's obviously different between us. So your yesterday could be my this morning.
Yes.
Um, but they were talking about how the 25th is the day of no time, and then the 26th is the galactic new year. So there's just lots of synchros. So who knows? It's exciting though, for sure.
Thank God for Rick Simpson oil. It's been saving my life, to be honest. It's like, thank God for Rick Simpson oil. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like we're in like, I wouldn't call it a void, but it's like a very like malleable part of this process going on. It's like
Mm.
it doesn't feel, things don't feel like they did before. Like the reality is not the
No.
same. It doesn't feel stable. You know what I mean? It feels
I feel
like
like
it's
I'm almost on a balancing board. Or
that's
those
it.
those balls of the gym when like they're upside down and
Yeah,
you
and
got
you're
to
like,
kind of do this and you got
yeah,
to be ready for it to flip in any direction because you got to be able to jump. Yeah.
yeah. It's like being on a boat for too long. I remember when I was on the boat. I think I was on the boat for a month, and when I got off the boat, for the next month after that, I felt like I was on a boat all the time. I kept like like almost like falling over, and I was very disoriented. And I've been feeling that a lot recently. It's like almost vertigo, like trying to just balance it out. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
But a lot of stuff has been, coming up for me about the suns. And the reason why I say suns is like the line of energy that comes into this planet. And I've been seeing a lot of like visions of like a golden type of lion. It's like this being is so powerful. It's like I started seeing it on the 7th, and I've seen it a few times today, where it's almost like this fire breathing lion that's coming up through this lion's gate is is going to transform a lot of all of this lower shit. It's almost like a lot of fire I see for some reason. Like I just keep seeing fires, like so much fire burning, etheric fire burning up what no longer can come to new earth. What's not at a frequency match. And I mean, I don't know shit about astrology, but it's like even now when you were talking, like I see the geometry of it and the alignment and how it creates geometrical patterns, and how those energies are aligned with certain parts of the galaxy. And it's almost like there's this layer that's been broken through. It's like so much that we didn't know about is about to be revealed. So many. It's like what was unseen before, the 90 whatever percent that humans don't actually see is actually coming into our awareness now. And
Yeah.
I feel those that are not ready, and those have not been doing any work, or really trying to evolve themselves, are not going to make it much longer. I really don't feel there's much time left. And that's part of letting go, and part of the purge is, at this point of time in our collective evolution, is, we have to be streamlined. We have to be streamlined because our contract is to leave no soul behind. None of us are getting out of this shit until, you know energetically we've assisted and we've reached that critical mass, in order for that very last soul that has chosen to come with, and to be a part of the ascension, has made it to a certain frequency. And obviously the divine plan's always changing, always um, morphing and evolving. But it really feels like the last 2 days, it's like one of the most epic wars has been won. It's like the final fucking barrage, and whatever they thought they still had left, you know, I feel it really feels like they deflated now. It's like they really the lower is starting to understand that there is nothing that they can do to stop it. They're actually starting to realize that. Whereas before they kept working on this old paradigm of what used to work for them. But I feel, especially now, there might be a few more major things that happen. I'm pretty certain there will be, but it's like it's almost like there's this
They've surrendered in a
deflation.
way.
Per se again.
Also, like they've surrendered in a way.
Yeah, they have surrendered in a way. I feel that it definitely feels like they know that there's nothing they can do. And for us, it's just about our forgiveness, forgiving ourselves, forgiving, especially the cabal, especially our role as being part of the cabal. It's forgiving ourselves in whatever way that's been for whatever beings out there. Just us enabling it, and just us being a part of it makes us responsible for it. And it's like that forgiveness has to happen in so many deep layers until we get to the core of the light that mom created us with. And it's like I keep seeing stones. I keep seeing like I don't know if you've ever seen an image of like golden light trying to break through a stone, like creating cracks in the
Mm-hmm.
stone. I keep seeing that, and then this morning and last night, it kept like something kept coming back to me about Avalon, like that timeline. There's something so significant that happened in those moments that is really important to this present moment, and it's like I really feel it's a timeline where we came the closest, to ascending the planet and to evolving, and something happened at the very end, and it's like it's almost like whatever's just been purged now has eliminated anything from stopping this process from taking place, and that truly brings me peace, because it's like it doesn't fucking matter what happens from now. It's like I know in my heart I
Yeah.
feel that, and I trust that, and I trust that guidance from mom, that we just have to allow it to unfold and flow through us, and paradise awaits. You know, what's and I'm sure a lot of people now is that even in all this chaos, like I see a lot of chaos, but then I had these tiny little moments of clarity where it's like, oh, that's what New Earth looks like. My ears just started ringing now, where it's just like serenity, and adventure. I see New Earth as like an adventure land, like playful and just so much fucking joy in everything. And just those tiny little snippets, maybe once every 3 days, 4 days, is enough to keep me going.
So as you were talking, the image behind you, the mandala and the peacock feathers, it almost morphed into like the peacock feathers were two eyes, and it was literally this dragon that just came in as you were speaking. So I needed to share that because I don't know if the dragon has anything to do with the burning. I mean, tomorrow for us is the 24th. I mean, it's 12:54. So it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Our highest energy for the full moon is 1 o'clock this morning here in South Africa.
Wow.
And the worldwide rally is on the 24th. And I don't know if anybody knew about astrology when they planned that, but it is the full moon in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the humanitarian sign and stands for truth and justice. So I do feel that with everybody standing up at the Worldwide Rally tomorrow with the same intention of truth and justice and peace is going to really be the beginning of flipping it on them. Because when that many people stand up and raise the frequency with that intention, they've got nothing left.
Nothing.
So
maybe that, I'm actually looking at it now. It's like when I look at it, it's actually looking more and more like a dragon now. It came to me as like a lion face, but it's like it is, and it's way more intense now since you pointed it out. And the whole time you were talking, my body was fully lighting up, and it's like there has to be a major fucking cleanse. And what's the biggest cleanser is that fire, the fire of the dragon, the pure fire of truth, mom's fire of truth. And yeah, I mean it's I don't know shit, but there is going to be like a purification where a blast of energy is imminent. And I really feel like the galactics are doing everything they can to try and like, what's the word? It's like soften that blow of truth, to try and cushion it so that humanity can can receive it. Because the thing is, when the body, or when the consciousness of beings is so dense, that's where the girls talk about like spontaneous combustion, is because there's so much light and purity that resistance and that lower energy can't do anything else other than explode. And that's why we've sometimes felt like we're on a treadmill or we're in Groundhog Day, is because we are continuously clearing layers and layers and layers away. You know, otherwise our physical vessels would literally fucking explode. And yeah, bring on the dragons, man. Bring on the dragons. Let's clean this shit up. You know, let's get it done. Let's get truth. Let's get justice. Let's get full disclosure. Let's all get on the same page. You know, how beautiful would it be where, you know, all the beings that have chosen to move through this ascension with mom, even if they have stuff to still clear, but they have at least set their intent to become the grandest version. That's when we'll start feeling peace, is because now you have the collective energy, and each soul that's part of that collective has chosen to evolve and chosen to expand and to become grander. And it's like, you know, even if they're still carrying so much density, you know, that's fine. At least that job is like, you are helping those that are choosing to give and to be a part of this. Because these lower entities that are putting on one last battle just for their own fucking self-importance, like, that needs to go. Like, that shit needs to be eradicated from this planet. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Please call again. We got a job to do. And our job is to rebuild this planet. And you know, let's pray. You know, let's all pray together for that. Let's pray that we reach that point, you know, where all of that insane lower energy that's trying to derail this thing has been completely neutralized. And I really feel we're at that point. Like, it's like right
Yeah.
at the crest.
Yeah.
You know, and mom, the piece in that is that mom's already done it, and it's like that's coming into physical manifestation now. And it's like, you know, we have been trained, we have the capabilities, we have all of these tools available to us, and it's now just about putting it into consistent action in all moments, and staying present with it, and staying, like you say, staying humble with it, you know, being open to be able to assist where we need to assist. Because I feel a lot of our roles is basically going to be helping those people that are looking for it. You know, it's not like we have to fish around, you know, and try and find these beings that are wanting to awaken. They're already on that way. They're already on that path, and they will find us or whoever else is out there that's aligned with this mission. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, I also feel that's so important to keep our hearts open, as we know, because all stored energy basically blocks the heart chakra, which is the most powerful one. And I feel that's also where, if people aren't in the heart, like we always speak about,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not operating from a space of love, all that blocked energy is literally going to shut that heart chakra down, because we absorbing those those love frequencies. And if you're not in a vibration of love and you've got that block, there's nowhere for that energy to go.
That's like a lava.
So
That's like a lava explosion. I just see lava like shooting out, like exploding out, because it's yo. When you said that now, it's resonates so much with me, because it's like, oh my god, my heart's like, even at this like little bits that I can feel of it again now, it's like I can't even share the amount of gratitude I have for being able to fucking feel again, and to just, you know, even though there's pain and this and that, just to be able to tap in and have compassion for people again. It's like I created this bitterness in me, you know, where I was like fucking pissed off with humanity, pissed off with everything, pissed off with what happened to mom. Like, fuck, dude, like, when is this gonna change already? And it's like, I was pissed off with myself, you know, and now being able to feel again, it's like I know I've only just scratched the surface of what I can truly feel, and it's like, whew, it can get overwhelming sometimes. You know, I get.
well, thanks for taking it on.
Thank Thank you too. Yeah, we all have our
So,
little parts to play. Our little parts in this grand adventure. Um, and it's
yeah.
pain is like, it's always been my biggest way of transforming. I always like get to a point and have to level up through some form of pain or injury or something like that. And it's like I made a vow to myself now that I don't want to make it difficult for me anymore. I can evolve through grace now and be able to accept the grace of God rather than have to go through the school of hard knocks. Yeah.
For sure.
Oh shit. Yeah. What we got?
I don't know if there are any comments. I can't see
There's
anything, so I don't know if
there's
there's
not there's
anything
not a
there.
lot. There's not a lot of people watching. I don't feel. Um, just a lot of hearts and love and um, who else is there? Niz is there. Anna, Shalise, Alice Rose, Krista. Yeah, there's a few people. It says there's 8 people watching. So
Okay. Love you, fam.
love you guys so much. Taryn, thank you for assisting me through this process and for all the love you've
You're
given to me
welcome.
and the support you've helped me with over these last few weeks. Thank you to my family here in this house. Thank you to Aurora for being patient with me. Thank you to Mom. Thank you to every single one of the beings in this house, of being patient and, showing me that love and giving me that space to be able to heal and to get closer to Mom, and heighten that connection back to love. And I'll make it back. I'll make it back. I know I'm gonna come back stronger.
You
And
look good.
yeah, I love you lots, Taryn, so much, and thank you for all you're doing with the crystal schools. And send my love to Jabberwock boy.
Oh, well. He's lying on the couch and he's listening, so he's having a giggle. So he's sending love.
And stop talking shit, man. I'm joking. Sending love to
Love
your
you lots.
boy, boy. Love you lots, and thank you, Mama.
Yeah,
It's,
love you
it,
lots. Love to everybody else. Thank you, Mom.
okay, love you.
And yeah, get better soon. And we got this.
Yeah, we got this shit. We got it.
Awesome.
Love you.
Love you. Thanks so much.